Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do different hand and arm placement using one frame. And what we're going to do is construct ourselves keyframe. So we have delts, chest area, of course the collar is here. The head already can be placed right here because we are not going to do much with the head. The head will remain. And if it is in an reverse egg shape, so the pointy shape down, it's better because if we want to make this into a final image once we are done, that'll do it more justice. So it's running a bit into the collar, so it's like plays a little lower and not looking straight necessarily in this kind of hand gesture or posture or pose. And then we have the body right there going into the lower body, which is not consequential also because we are doing hand placement essentially. So if we have that much set, we can start placing the hands, but let's do first like some lines here. So 1, 2, so it's as if like you could even like do a star. So a blast coming out of the delts, going in all directions and like a star. Now the reason for that is that we're going to use the very same placement and go about this, and with a lot of foreshortening. So it's foreshortening that is a key as well in this kind of placement. So we are going to pick this, let's go with those two placements. So 1, and then we are going to build circles here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Similarly right here with this one, 1, 2, and 3. And there can be some variations because that's what the dynamic aspect is of anatomy. What we're doing here is going with the first one. We're coming off the delts. The delts can, from here, I think the delt can be, well, it'll have to be lower when we come to this placement. So, but let's just run it off enough so that we don't have to touch it. And there's the chest going. Okay, so 1, and right around we have to end where we put in the circles. So that is the upper arm going into the forearm quickly, and we can add in all those details like the elbow, the curvature around the tricep, and which will of course go into the wings and all that. But and right here we have a hand, and again we are not looking at the necessarily getting all the anatomy perfect, but we are instead just focusing on the placement here, so the anatomy could be off that. So that's one placement right there, and they'll be similar. So just imagine there's like a line and we have to try to keep it in sync with the other hand that we have just done. And again, there can be variations, there can be a little difference in placement. It does not, because this is not exactly a man-made structure where all the measurements have been done with a ruler, but as it is still perfect and it's beautiful. I'm talking about the anatomy, the human anatomy. So there's one. We've used that core frame to place the hands in a foreshortened way here. So I've just fixed the elbow there a little bit. Maybe we could bring this down a little bit. Again, changes can go along as we changes can be done as we go along. And now using that same delt structure, so just rounding up, we are coming down and choosing the other line here with these circles, and then right here we begin to place the middle arm, but it'll be placed differently in the sense that it's crunched against the pectoral, and we just have to be mindful of how we are going to draw it out. So this should actually just work. Let's do that here too quickly if we can. Then we have the hand going right there. Now, if we were to look for practical, let's just go like this. If we were to look for practical implications for this kind of pose, we would, of course, it looks like a superheroic action pose where some push or some energy is being channeled with those hands. So some blasts or things coming out of the hands, or lightning. But it doesn't have to be that. It might as well be some kind of theme, some kind of awesome promotional piece of art. And there we have it. So and these can be also, like we should mention this, and right here one hand could be like this, and the other hand could also be an enlarged fist. So thumb, I mean, it's getting convoluted now, but, and this hand, for instance, also could very well be a fist. So right there, and there can be two fists, or no, they can both be open. We can also have the pose, the gesture coming in like that, so real, and the fingers coming out really like forward like that, and the hand like this. So all those different possibilities. Amazing what we can do with just that core frame. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, keep in touch, have yourself a wonderful day.